What's up everyone, welcome back to another What If video. I'm glad this scenario was pretty well received because I really like the ideas that were in here. Also, I really like Cooler, so it gives me an excuse to continue it. Anyways, let's do a little recap. Last time, we left off in kind of a sticky situation. Following his fight with Frieza, Cooler was searching around the planet, trying to find whoever was meddling in his plans and killed his squad. Also angered at the fact that he couldn't get the Dragon Balls. We left off with the Dragon Team being given a choice: run away, fight, or hide. What will they do? For this video, let's set a like goal of 3,000 likes, and if we hit that, I'll continue this series with another part. Let's pick up from here. Well, surprise surprise, a lot of you said that they should just hide, which probably is the best course of action here. There's no way they could fight Cooler. If they thought Frieza was a challenge, this was completely different. When they sensed him fighting Frieza, they already got a taste of his power, so they know that they're no match at all. So now their only option is to hide. I kind of imagine it going like Jurassic Park, where they're just staying deathly quiet and still, as some monsters lurking about trying to find them. Cooler even kind of looks scary like a dinosaur. Weird little parallel. In a cave, all of them completely drop their ki, even trying to hold their breath a little bit as to not be heard. They focus and try to sense where Cooler is, flying around the planet and gradually getting closer and closer to them. Briefly, he even peers into the cave, seemingly trying to be quiet himself as well, just so he can get the jump on everyone. Everyone is terrified. They feel like Cooler is even looking right at them. In his frustration, Cooler gives up his search and decides to depart the planet, but not without giving it a parting gift. He knows they're still on the planet and he wants them to have some fun. As he boards his ship, he creates a small ball of energy and flings it directly down to Namek's core, starting its slow destruction. The planet begins shaking violently and everyone knows what just happened. Cracks appear everywhere and lava begins shooting out of the ground seemingly at random. It's pretty easy to deduce that the planet is exploding. Quickly, they go to find Bulma, who is unsurprisingly pretty terrified. Vegeta of course tags along with them, not really knowing what else to do, and although they're wary of him, they're fine with him coming along. Thinking his victory is secured, Cooler gives a nice little grin, saying his goodbyes to the planet, launching far off into deep space. Hastily, the Dragon Team and Vegeta all are able to find Goku's ship and take it back to Earth. Just as the planet bursts, they are able to escape. I mean, they'd probably have about 20 or 30 episodes to do so, considering it took 5 minutes to blow up Namek. Every time someone makes a joke about Namek blowing up in 5 minutes, Toei delays Dragon Ball Super's anime by a month. Please, no more. In all seriousness though, they almost died, so they're pretty terrified. And now they've basically got Frieza on steroids running around in space. So what now? Well, on the way back, after everyone gets their panic attacks done with, they try and figure out what to do. Cooler may actually think they're dead, which is a really good sign, but they're still pretty concerned about him obviously. Vegeta theorizes that he must have known about the Dragon Balls as well. He did kill Frieza, but he could have done that long before if he wanted to. There has to be some underlying reason that he came to Namek and actually at this point in time. And the only real reason is the Dragon Balls. And if he knew about the Dragon Balls, that means he's been spying on Frieza, and Vegeta by extension. And that poses a pretty big issue. Since there are Dragon Balls on Earth, now that Piccolo's back to life, that would mean Cooler might potentially know of it, and have that as his next target. The thing is though, he might also think that Earth doesn't have Dragon Balls anymore, which is why everyone went to Namek. He doesn't know that Piccolo's alive and the Dragon Balls are back on Earth. And one of the great things is that they were able to revive their friend Piccolo, but sadly, there still are 3 other people they need to revive. While they didn't fully accomplish their goals, they're happy to at least have Piccolo and Kami back on Earth with them. That's 2 out of 5, so they're 40% the way there. Wait, never mind, Namek's gone, so that pushed them back way further. That's another conundrum they're thinking about. What are they supposed to do about Namek too? They have a lot on their mind right now. They need to bring Namek and the Namekians back, they need to bring their friends back, and somehow, they need to prepare for the threat that is Cooler. This Herculean task seems almost impossible, but there is some hope. First, let's go over to King Kai's planet for a little bit. Since everyone on the planet knows they're basically going to be stuck there for a while, they might as well start with some more intense training. The 3 of them find out about Kaioken, and if they're going to be stuck here a few more months, they might as well try and learn it together. Their training's already going really well so far, so why not pick up a few techniques while they're here? And in case they are able to come back by the time Cooler's on Earth, they might actually be able to help if they learn stuff like the Kaioken and the Spirit Bomb. So they start picking up the slack. In a completely faraway part of space, Cooler is feeling some of the same things that the Dragon Team is feeling right now. He doesn't know what to do. He's at a crossroads and he doesn't know what his next course of action will be. He killed Frieza, but honestly he thought he'd never get this far. Well, he knew he was superior to his brother, but he actually went out and did it, which was pretty cool for him. And of course he still does feel very bitter about losing his loyal armored squadron and the Dragon Balls. Unlike what Vegeta theorized though, Cooler doesn't actually know that Dragon Balls are on Earth, or of the planet's existence at all. Well, at least not right now. In whatever archives he has about Frieza's army, he begins searching to see what he could find. Dragon Balls might exist elsewhere, but first he has to find out where Frieza heard about them and what may actually be the source of them. The good thing is he has the full Frieza Force at his disposal. Well, not the full Frieza Force, he pretty much slaughtered everyone that was left. But whatever remains of it are there, he's controlling it right now. And King Cold, he actually decides to spare him. He knows he holds the power over his father. There's no point in even calling him king anymore. Cooler is the king right now. King Cooler. And Cold is just Cold. He really only wanted to kill Frieza, and since Cold already knows that Frieza is dead and that Cooler's taking control of his army, Cooler feels the punishment is sufficient and King Cold is suffering enough. Cold is understandably pretty angered, and he wants to stop this. He also wants to gain the Dragon Balls to revive Frieza and usurp the power from Cooler. But now he has to bide his time because he knows he can't do anything about his son right now, so he'll work with Cooler but double cross him when the time is right. Well, hopefully he can. Going back to Earth, the limitations of the Dragon Balls are actually going to leave everyone in an odd spot, because if they use the Dragon Balls now, they're going to have to wait another year for them to be active again. They want to revive the Namekians, and with the help of King Kai, they want those Namekians to revive their 3 friends. But they also need to bring back Namek in order to revive the Namekians, because if they revive them right now, they'll just be floating in outer space. And if they bring Namek back, Cooler may notice it right away and just blow it up again, negating all of their progress. So first, they need to actually defeat Cooler, and then they could try and bring back Namek as well as everyone else. They have to train like never before. Not long ago, they faced the threat of the Saiyans and then eventually Frieza, but Cooler completely overshadows any enemy they've ever faced in the past. More power and influence than Frieza, more terror than King Piccolo, a bigger army than the Saiyans or the Red Ribbon Army, and most importantly of all, bigger shoulders than Tenshinhan, truly a force to be reckoned with. They need some new method of training, and it seems like gravity training is the right way to go. On his way to Namek, Goku already saw the benefits of it, so he decides that everyone else should join him. With the help of Bulma and Dr. Briefs, they're able to turn the ship into an actual training room, as well as making some accommodations to make it more powerful. Plus, Vegeta's obviously going to join in, and this may start his interactions with Bulma a little earlier on. So instead of tracking down Cooler right now, they're going to prepare instead, because they know he's going to arrive eventually. Training actually goes pretty well. Krillin getting his potential unlocked really helped, and Gohan starting to get the hang of his training. As for Piccolo, his fusion with Nail made his power skyrocket. Goku of course has all his training and his Zenkais from beforehand, as well as Vegeta. So everyone has a really great start and it goes very well. They reach new heights that they never thought they could reach before. Vegeta gets more and more confident and motivated during his training. Kakarot is truly special, and it seems he's very powerful. It gets him thinking, is Kakarot a Super Saiyan? Goku's power alone makes Vegeta think this. And as his power and Gohan's power increase, he thinks the 3 of them all are Super Saiyans somehow. Of course they're not actually Super Saiyans yet, it's what Vegeta thinks is a Super Saiyan. They don't know about the whole transformation and all. Vegeta just sees someone strong and thinks, oh yeah, that's a Super Saiyan. And Piccolo's a Super Namekian, and Krillin's a Super Human. They're all super. Dragon Ball Super. Let's cue the theme song. Jokes aside, they're feeling very confident right now, and they're actually making some progress towards fighting Cooler. And all the while, of course everyone on King Kai's planet is training too. So while they may not be on Earth to fight Cooler, they're still getting strong in their own right. Time passes, and off in space, Cooler and Cold are going through all the data they could find, trying to figure out how Frieza found out about the Dragon Balls. It is a bit hard because Frieza himself is obviously dead, and if any soldier knew anything about it, they're probably dead as well because they went on the mission with Frieza, and subsequently died on Namek too. After some digging and some thinking, they are able to find out that originally, Vegeta seemed to be the source of the info. Apparently he was also on Namek, and he probably died once Cooler blew it up, or Frieza's forces may have killed him, so he probably won't be an issue either. But the most interesting part is where he found this info from. There's apparently a planet somewhere called Earth, which has its own set of Dragon Balls, because it had its own Namekian inhabitants for some reason. But according to the data they could find, the Namekian there did die because of Vegeta, and from what they could gather, the Namekians are the source of the Dragon Balls. Little do they know that Piccolo is alive there, as well as Kami, but that doesn't really matter to them. They're gonna take their chance and go to Earth anyways to see if they can find something. They don't really know how the Dragon Balls work, and there is a shot that the Dragon Balls still could be there. Cooler has decided that he'll steal his brother's wish for immortality, but as for Cold, he plans to steal the wish for himself, pulling the rug from underneath Cooler and wishing to bring back Frieza. Secretly, Cold has done a very small amount of training, the thought of it disgusts him, and while he doesn't really want to train, he thinks that it might help him overpower Cooler if the time ever comes, especially if he tries to increase his power and unlock a new stage of suppression like his son's. But Cooler is just too far ahead of him in power, so will he even be able to defeat him somehow? That's where Frieza comes in. If he's able to bring Frieza back and the two of them work together, maybe they can kill Cooler and get their army back. Both Cooler and Cold are excited to go to Earth because of their wishes, and currently, it's about 1.5 years after the original events on Namek. With all of their research and digging done, they decide it's time to head to Earth to see if there is any Dragon Balls there. With one massive ship, Cooler begins his journey with Cold and some other small forces. Back on Earth, in some sort of wasteland, a ship appears carrying one of the most formidable fighters in the universe. This fighter arriving on Earth with the intent of killing someone. Oblivious to this arrival, the Dragon Team eventually senses some new power coming towards them. It seems a little bit unfamiliar. No, this isn't actually Cooler that arrived on Earth, but they're ready to fight. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, and Krillin all head towards this source of power, ready to face whatever's coming towards them. They eventually meet halfway with this warrior, and it's not some threat from outer space, it seems to be a regular guy, wearing a jacket and with a sword on his back. He actually seems somewhat happy to see everyone, but also confused. Where are the other fighters and where's Frieza? Did he arrive too late or something? Understandably, everyone's confused. Frieza is dead. What is this guy talking about? He introduces himself. He says that he's a warrior from the future, and his name is Trunks, hiding his identity as best as possible. Wait a second. The purple hair, that name Trunks. This immediately leaves Vegeta speechless. There's no way this could actually be happening. Little do the others know, Vegeta and Bulma are apparently expecting a baby. And while Vegeta isn't really around her that much, he remembers her mentioning that he'll have a son, and she wanted to name him something like Trunks. Vegeta knows who this is. It's his unborn son from the future. Much to everyone's shock, including Trunks, Vegeta looks at Trunks and says one thing. So this is how his son will turn out. The rest of the Dragon Team is understandably speechless, and Trunks is surprised but kinda happy that Vegeta knows who he is. But that means something's wrong here. Trunks won't be born for another few years. How does Vegeta know who he is? According to Vegeta, he'll be born a few months from now, which means something went terribly wrong in this timeline. Trunks didn't go to the past. He went to an alternate timeline. That's where we'll leave off for now. So how will Trunks come into play here? When Cooler and Cold arrive on Earth, will they be able to fend them off? How will the Dragon Team manage to bring back Namek, their friends, and all the Namekians? And most importantly, will they find out about Super Saiyan? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit our like goal. Once we hit that, I'll continue with another part. And if you haven't already, why not subscribe, as well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.